Hello friends, today's topic is round robin algorithm in the subject operating system. Now, as primitive scheduling, it is one of the oldest, simplest and widely used scheduling, and the RR scheduling algorithm is primarily used in the time sharing and multi-user system. The primary requirement to provide reasonably good response time and in general to share a system fairly among all the system users. So basically CPU time is divided into the time slice. For, as we can see, primary requirement for what it is used for response time, good response time, and to share system among fairly users, all the users. So now each process is allocated a small time slice while it is running. So no process can run for more than time slice when there are other waiting in the ready queue. If a process needs more CPU time to complete after executing one time slice, it goes at the end of the queue and awaits the next allocation. Otherwise, if the running process releases a control of CPU to the OS freely due to input output request or termination, another process is scheduled to run. As now it says that if there is any process currently running and it has some complication of input output data request, so it will get terminated or have to wait for the its turn for the input output. So now it goes for another process. Right now the CPU is it goes for the another process for running. So now it utilizes system resource in equitable manner. Small process may be executed in a single time slice, giving good response time. Now, whereas long process may require several time slices and thus to be forced to pass through ready queue for a time slice before completion. As you can see in the table, there are three processes P1, P2 and P3. Now, P1 has 24-second timing, P2 has 3-second timing, P3 has 3-second timing. As you can see in this figure, we have divided the time slots into the 5 seconds. For example, we have divided into the 5 seconds. Now, if we can see P1 has 24 seconds, so it will goes for 5 seconds. Now, P1 has completed its process. It's time for P2 to execute the process. So, P2 has its execution time 3 seconds. So, it will go for the 3-second execution. So, first P2 slash is 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Now, P3 goes for also 3 seconds. So, there is P3 executed. So, 8 plus 3 is equal to 11. Now, only P1 is running. So, it is a long process. So, it executes for 4 times because of its timing. Now, you have seen in the table, P1 process executes for 5 CPU time. So, turnaround time goes for 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Now, waiting time is 0. Now, P2's execution time, its CPU time is 3 seconds, and this 5 plus 3 turnaround time goes for 5 and plus 3 for the second process. So now waiting time for second process is 5 seconds. Now P3 has a turn. P3's execution time is also 3. So 8 plus 3 is equal to 11 and waiting time is 8 seconds. Now it's turn for P1. It is a long process, so it executes for the long time. So now we have seen the turnaround time is 30, waiting time is 26. For our average turnaround time, it's 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 as shown in the turnaround time table. Divide by 3 because there are only 3 processes. So its answer is 10 seconds. Average waiting time is 0 plus 5 plus 8 plus 11 divided by 3. Also there are 3 processes is equal to 8 seconds. Now the throughput is 3 divided by our turnaround time. So turnaround time here it is taken and the answer is 0.1 process per second. Thank you.